Hey, this is Michael at Digital T-Shirt Shop. So, I've been thinking a little bit about the conversation I had with my old neighbor yesterday and thinking about the whole idea of starting a business and how you put it together and how you make it work. And also looking at what you planned and what it ended up being down the road from when you planned it. Um, I thought quite a bit as I contemplated the ideas that I had to share with him. Um, I can sit down and I can spout out a whole bunch of ideas. I feel like I'm at least a fairly good brainstormer. Whether they're good ideas or not, I guess is to be said. But I can sit down and I can cover a lot of the different aspects of it, but um, everything from organizing the business to financing the business and marketing it to producing the product to how you're going to bring it to market, where you're going to sell it, and all of those different strategies. And as I was driving away and I was thinking about it last night, I was thinking about Digital T-Shirt Shop, and I'm thinking about, God, I did all of that stuff, and it's to market, and I'm just not satisfied with where it's at. I know I've gone through and I've made some changes to it, and clearly you make a business plan, you bring a business to market. It doesn't always pan out the way that you expect it to. I mean, you could do far better, you could do far worse. You could be out of business already. We happen to still be in business. But as I sat and I thought about it, I wondered and I contemplated about sitting down and reevaluating those things. And I have a bad tendency to, as I sit down and talk to people, sometimes I like to throw out I've tried that, that didn't work. And I kind of feel like I'm the bearer of shooting down every idea that anybody presents to me because I've already either tried it or been there, done that, or may not have an interest in doing it. So I do need to have a much more open mind and be a little bit teachable about those things. But it kind of, as I thought about it last night, thought, really, I probably ought to just sit down and write out kind of a new business plan for Digital T-Shirt Shop, and then try to kind of measure it and stick to it and try to execute it, and sit down and come up with a new thought out strategy, an updated strategy, and try to execute all of it and see how effective it is. And we have, as it actually has kind of been, I thought it out and we planned it out, and I had an idea of how we were going to push all of these things and what we were going to do, and we measured it for a long time. And some of those things I stopped doing. We stopped giving daily records of what we're selling and things like that, and part because we made a transition to doing the third-party printing and reporting on that, and there just hasn't been any. I mean, there really hasn't been any. I've been doing one or two shirts every other week on Spreadshirt. I've been doing one or two shirts every other week on Merch by Amazon. There just really has not been much there to report on, and so it's like there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. We went a whole week, we didn't sell anything. We went 2 weeks, we didn't sell anything. Oh, look, we sold a shirt, we made $2. Thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. And if I was to stop and think about it, and I think about the amount of time and money and effort and everything that goes into putting all those things online, it's just not worth it. But I do need to have a different strategy, and that I guess if I was to, even as I'm thinking about it while I'm talking, probably my best strategy is to abandon the third party printing. I don't need to abandon it. I just let it do its thing. It's there. Whatever's been put online, let it be there. Um, but it's the least effective part of my business, and I can see that 6 months into it, it's just not there. So got to do things differently. So, but I can figure that out and figure out what direction I want to push it all if I sit down and I measure it. So, and I sit down and I make a plan. So I may do that over the next little while. I may sit down and just kind of figure out which direction I want to take it, how I want to push it, how, what new channels I want to try to sell in order to expand the business. Likelihood is, even though I may do some third-party printing down the road, it's just probably not going to be my emphasis moving forward. So, and that may help. It might help quite a bit to sit down and just reevaluate all of that. So anyhow, that's kind of my little rant for today. Digital T-shirt shop, would love to have you subscribe. Don't forget to write your business plan if you decide you want to do a business, and give it some good thought. And it doesn't need to be perfect, because likelihood is whatever you do won't match the plan. So, but at least gives you some organized thought as you execute it. I think it's a rarity that everything goes just as planned. But it is more common that everything changes and nothing goes perfect. So you write the plan so you at least thought it out, and then expect everything to not follow the plan. Then you got it. So have a good day.